This is episode 30 of Harvesting Infinity. By the way, all these episodes are about Harvesting Infinity. Sometimes I'm interviewing people who are creators and have been harvesting infinity themselves, and I'm asking them how they do it. And sometimes I'm talking about my experience, and sometimes I'm responding to the news. But pretty much what creative people do is we all harvest infinity. We're not that bounded. We constantly do different stuff. Once in a while, some of the things that we're creating get adopted by other people, and we can call them innovations. And this last piece, for at least today's set of recordings, is called VV, which stands for valid and valuable. And you sometimes have to remind yourself that you are, in fact, valid and valuable, especially when you're getting negative feedback. And it's part of something I call a self-esteem suite. So this one's called Just Say Vivi, and it starts as an instrumental and then it changes. So try and remember, no matter what, you are valid and valuable. Don't beat yourself up. So try and remember to always be true. You are valid and valuable. Don't make yourself blue. So try and remember every day you are valid and valuable. That's much better than okay. So just say Vivi, 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 just say Vivi now. Just say Vivi, 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 just say Vivi now. Valid and valuable. Just say Vivi, 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 just say Vivi now. So here's the deal. If you don't remind yourself that you are valid and valuable, probably nobody else will either. And then you might forget. And you might start beating yourself up or getting apologetic or having doubts about whether you can do stuff. you do need to remind yourself that you are valid and you are valuable and you count. And it's probably best if you do this for yourself and not rely upon somebody else doing it for you. Because at some points in time in your life, you will have people to do that for you. But other times you may not. So you might as well get into the habit of being kind of self-contained and having good self-esteem by reminding yourself that you're okay. As a parenthetical note, let's say you do feel good about yourself and you work for somebody who's insecure and does not feel good about themselves, and they beat you up and they give you a hard time. That is a really crummy place to be. You should either go get yourself a new boss and get out of there, because having a low self-esteem boss is the best way for you to not feel good about yourself. But whether the person outside is good or bad, or you're alone or together, if you take the responsibility and say, I'm going to remind myself to take myself seriously, that I do have value and I shouldn't beat myself up. A lot of people today are in a lot of fear and anger, and they do a lot of beating themselves up. Sometimes it leaks over and they beat other people up too. It's hard to imagine a person who actually feels good about themselves feeling the need to beat somebody else up. It's been my experience that most bullies have pretty low self-esteem. Why would a person who felt good about themselves have to be a bully? It doesn't make sense at all. When you meet a person who doesn't feel good about themselves and they're giving you a hard time, just say Vivi. Remind yourself, you are valid and valuable. You should not beat yourself up. You should feel that you count, and ignore them, which of course will make them more upset and want to beat you up more, but hey, that's their problem. Obviously, they don't feel like they're valid and valuable. And upon occasion, I've gotten into trouble when people try to sort of beat me up, psychological. And I said, boy, you really don't feel very good about yourself, do you? Why are you giving me such a hard time? I guess you don't really like yourself very much, because whatever you're blaming me for, it's what's wrong with you, not me. I'm fine. You're nuts. I'm valid and valuable. I don't know what you think you are, but you're not going to ruin my day. And, sometimes they could fire you, but in general, they get a far-off look in their eye like, oh, what? And then they go by and they bother somebody else who's more susceptible. If you inoculate yourself and remind yourself that you're valid and valuable, it's much tougher for people to beat you up. You can go, I don't care. I already reminded myself this morning when I got up that I was valid and valuable and I was okay and I shouldn't beat myself up. Try it. It works. Episode 30 of Harvesting Infinity.